Hi guys, thank you very much. It's another edition of the Counter Press with me, Fiifi-Manfred, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Very grateful for your time, very grateful for your input as well. Comments, very, very important as well. So guys, thank you very much. Do not forget that this is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's very, very, very important. It's very imperative that you like, subscribe, and you do share. You like, subscribe, and you do share. You like, subscribe, and you do share to all the content that we provide here. In fact, when you turn on the notification button, make sure you choose all. When you turn on the notification button, do choose all. When you subscribe, thank you very much. It's me, Fiifi-Manfred. There's a lot of updates. First of all, it is the reaction of Mauricio Pochettino's pre-match press conference versus Luton. There is also a lot of Chelsea fans who think that Mauricio Pochettino should go back to how Chelsea were playing in preseason. Is there a worry? Is there the need for Chelsea to change their shape? Or Chelsea really doesn't necessarily have to change their shape in preseason? Very important. And then, of course, there is also prediction for game week 3 of the European leagues. So thank you very much for joining me here. There are 3 things on the table and we'll run you through them quickly. My name again is Fiifi-Manfred. Let us get through to it and we'll have a very, very good conversation about it. And then see you guys. Mauricio Pochettino just finished his pre-match press conference. Key amongst them is the injury list at Chelsea Football Club. There seems to be a very, very long and tall list of injured players at Chelsea Football Club, which is not enough. I mean, not good at all. I mean, people are beginning to ask questions if there is a problem. I mean, when you speak to the sports and exercise science guys, one of the things they tell you is that if a club has a long list of injured players, maybe the conditioning before games isn't ideal, isn't the best. Or maybe training sessions have been too intense, such that once they get into match games, they tend to get injured a lot of the time. So why is it that Chelsea have a long list? So Benoit Bella-Chile is injured. He's at the end stages of his rehabilitation. There is Marcos Bettinelli, goalkeeper, also injured. Armando Broja, also injured. He's also at the end stage of his rehabilitation program. Trevor Chalobah, also injured, continuing to undergo rehabilitation. Kani Chukwuemeka got injured in a game against West Ham after scoring a brilliant goal. Wesley Fofana, also injured just when he returned for preseason. Reece James got injured. I mean, it's about the 3rd or 2nd time this season that he's been reported to have been injured. Mihailo Modric just this week got injured in training. And then Christophe Nkunku also got injured. I don't know. Do Chelsea have to have a look at their medical team? Mind you, Chelsea changed its medical team this summer. The medical team in there are the same medical team that was Mauricio Pochettino, Torian Mospe. They're Americans and they are actually experts in intensity and then management of players for a very long time. So if you look through this team, Armando Broja got injured last season. The list, Armando Broja got injured last season. Nkunku got injured from Leipzig, recovered, came, and there was an injury. Reece James has been having some persistent injuries for a while now. Wesley Fofana got injured on his ankle, then later climbed up to his knee. It was something you're going to see. It's normal that once patients get injured at their ankle, it tends to go up to their knee as well. So yeah, so I don't really think it's a case of the medical team. I think it's 2 things. It's either of 2 things. First of all, it's most likely the fact that the training sessions under Mauricio Pochettino have been too intense, and that they need to be very careful and look at it. They need to be very, very careful and look at the training sessions and with Mauricio Pochettino, very, very intense ones. If you look at the games that he's been having, also I think that maybe the conditioning before games haven't been good enough. Maybe because they do so much of an intense training session, when they're coming to play in games, they tend to reduce the workload. Once you reduce the workload, anybody that has had some level of biochemistry education knows about how muscles get teared and ruptured through buildup of lactic acid in the system. So yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one that Chelsea need to look at. So Mauricio Pochettino and his backroom staff need to check the training regimes because it is very, very important and it's not good. But Pochettino on the other side did say that he is okay that he's getting the injuries now. The players will get used to the training sessions and with time they're going to be fine. So let's just wait. I think that it's something that has to do with the training sessions. Very, very important. It's the second highest number of injuries in the English Premier League this season. Second highest number of injuries this season. In the pre-match press conference versus Luton, he was asked a lot of things about Romelu Lukaku and his issue if he's going to join football club. He said, you know what, there's a case between Lukaku and then Chelsea Football Club. If they're able to resolve and they come to him, he will look at Lukaku and see how if he can get him into his team. Apart from all of that as well, he did mention about Luton Town, how good of a team that they are, how well they play as a team, and what's very, very important for Chelsea Football Club to note that they need to analyze them very well. Rob Edwards, who's also the coach of Luton Town, did mention that he saw the two games that Chelsea have played earlier live and they were very, very good. He thinks that Chelsea is a very, very good team and then people should be very wary of Chelsea Football Club. So that's it with the injury list and then, of course, the pre-match presser for Luton Town. But then now, the most important question that everybody has been asking. Should Chelsea change to the preseason shape that Chelsea were playing? So if you remember in preseason, flat four at the back, no variation, then 2, 3, and then 1. The profiles in here are a little bit dissimilar to what Chelsea has started the season with. So in preseason, for example, there was no Axel Disasi. Now there's Axel Disasi. You have Levi Cole, Thiago Silva, Axel Disasi, Chilwell, Malo Gusto. Then in the middle of the pack, you have Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, and then that last game was Kani Chukwuemeka. So I'm very sure this time it's going to be Conor Gallagher, Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Raheem Sterling, and then of course Nicolas Jackson. So now in preseason, I'm very sure that Chelsea went into this game, the first game against Liverpool, with two things on the minds of Mauricio Pochettino: height, especially in set pieces. And in the game against West Ham United, that was also very key. Now, if you look at the average height of West Ham United, Naif Aguerd, Jacob Zuma, Thomas Tuchel, you look at the players that they have, Mikel Antonio, not so tall, but big and bulky as well. If you look at Soucek, you look at Aguerd, you have Koufal. These are all aerially dominant players because of their height. Now, going into the game against Liverpool, there was a need to augment the height deficiency. Look into the Chelsea squad. The tall players are Levi Cole, Axel Disasi, and you can't find anybody being tall again. Yes, Thiago Silva has that aerial dominance because he has a very good leap. But in terms of height, Chelsea doesn't have it. So if you tell me that Chelsea should change the shape, on the face value of it, one of the things that you may, one of the reasons why you may think Mauricio Pochettino move into that was because of height. Very, very important. Now, quite apart from that, in this shape, Chelsea also sort of has a hybrid back three, back four system. And we've realized that off the ball back three has been normal these days in the English Premier League. Can't get Pep. And the reason has been simple, something I've said here for a very long time. If you have playing against fast-paced wingers, you want centre backs to deal with them. You want so 3 centre backs at the back in the rest defense. Actually does help. They'll deal with them 1v1. And albeit Chelsea hasn't been able to utilize that. That goal Mikel Antonio scored against Chelsea Football Club was one of the reasons why Chelsea should have been able to Chelsea play that 3-back. You want to isolate Axel Disasi and Mikel Antonio 1v1 because you expect that Axel is very, very good 1v1. He's also strong as Mikel Antonio. You don't want to leave Mikel Antonio with your fullback. But Disasi failed at that, and that's goal did come in. So I think it's a case of implementation, not necessarily the system or the shape being bad. Chelsea have been one of the most dominant teams in the first 2 games of the English Premier League. They have pressed better than almost everybody. Their XGs have been better than almost everybody, and I'll put that stat up. Better XGs, better press, better carries into the opposition box. And almost every metric that used to describe a team seems that it's going to be good. And again, the back three, back four is just to. So if you realize anytime Chelsea are in possession, it's a back three. And at some point in time, if they are pressed very high, Levi Cole sort of plays as a fullback in a back four. So Ben Chilwell pulls very, very high and wide up top. Then you have Levi Cole playing as a fullback. So that it becomes more like a 4-3-3 on the ball. So Levi Cole, Thiago Silva, Disasi, then Malo Gusto or James on the other hand. Now, once you have this, you have Levaikov in a mid shape, so from the center line area. Then you have the back three of Gusto, Desasi, and then Thiago Silva. Now this base helps. Now you have two players sitting in front of them, Conor Gallagher and then Moises Caicedo. This is what's going to happen against Luton Town. They're able to receive in these areas if the team is pressing mid block, they're able to pick up the ball 10 on the half space and then carry the ball forward. Also, if the team is pressing very high, like against Liverpool, then you are going to use the ball playing, the diagonal spreading ability of Thiago Silva to switch the ball to Levaiko, who's also excellent on the ball, even from fullback areas. Now, in this area, you can have inside 10s in there. If you had Nkoku fit, he can play as an inside 10 in that regard. And any of these players that Chelsea wants to get, whether Bracola, Kudus or whatnot, to receive the ball, whilst you have Chilwell playing some sort as a fullback. So it helps Chelsea in the tails dimension and whatnot. I don't think Chelsea need to change the shape in that regard. I think that to augment the squad in terms of height, to deal with the on and off the ball dynamics, it's important that they keep the shape like that. So I don't think Mauricio Pochettino is going to change even tomorrow against Luton Town. Robbie Dawes did say, the Luton Town manager did say that yes, he is very, very certain that Chelsea are going to keep that shape. So yeah, I don't know what you think. Let me know in the comment section if you think Chelsea should change and go back into the preseason shape. We'll have that discussion. But then now to the most exciting part of the conversation today is my prediction for the weekend. So when it gets to this point, you know that don't forget to turn on notification bell, turn it on, and then when you subscribe, turn the notification bell and then choose all. But this time you need your pen and a paper to get through. Now let us go. We start from the Spanish La Liga. My top 3 picks from the Spanish La Liga. First one is Celta de Vigo playing against Real Madrid. Madrid are playing away again. I think that they've been on the travels for the 3rd time in a season now. It's a 4-1-2-1-2 compact shape. Very difficult for you to break down Madrid these days, because even without the ball, it becomes a flat 4-4-2. They're able to deal with the spaces and timing behind. They also have a wonderful creator in Jude Bellingham and 2 very good mobile center forwards. In this case, winger center forwards, in this case, attackers. Vinicius Junior and then Rodrigo Goes. I think that is going to be a little bit tough going tough going away to Celta de Vigo. So it's a double chance. Real Madrid, they should be very careful. This game can be very, very tight for them. Villarreal are playing a big one against FC Barcelona. I love Xavi's team. I think Xavi's an excellent manager. Yes, the 4-2-4 shaping build-up really isn't helping Robert Lewandowski, but I do think that given the fact that they're going to play together for a while now, Xavi wants a base of a midfield of a technical player and also an aggressive and combative player in Oriol Romeo. I also do think that Barca versus Villarreal, Barca it should be a double chance for Barcelona. So away or draw. Real Vallecano is playing against Atletico de Madrid. Atletico de Madrid picking up. They want to research. It's also an away double chance for them. In English Premier League, Chelsea are going to play at home tomorrow against Luton Town. We expect Chelsea to get a win and over 1.5. Leipzig versus Stuttgart in the German Bundesliga. Leipzig will draw at home. Nantes versus Monaco. Over 0.5 in that game. Bournemouth versus Tottenham is an away or draw. Brentford versus Crystal Palace. I think it is this game is going to be goals also on over 1.5. Paris Saint-Germain versus Lyon. Paris Saint-Germain straight win. Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. It's Manchester United or draw at home. Coventry versus Sunderland. It's a home or draw in the English Championship. Sheffield versus Manchester City is an away win. Feyenoord versus Amer City is a home win for Feyenoord. Fiorentina versus Atlanta is an away or draw. Copenhagen versus Karlsberg, home or draw. Sampdoria versus Pisa. You stay away from that game. PAOK versus Kefisia is a home win. And then you have other games also there. Trabzonspor's game in the Turkish Superliga is a home or draw also for Trabzonspor. There is in the Portuguese Liga, Aroca also home or draw for them. Fenerbahce home or draw. Venezia versus Cosenza home or draw. Parma versus Gitadella home or draw. Then you have Istanbulspor versus Galatasaray is an away or draw. AC Milan versus Torino. I think AC Milan straight win is a good one. AC Milan very strong team. They have what it takes to break down the Torino side at home. the San Siro. Rotterdam versus Leicester. Rotterdam actually versus Leicester. Leicester away or draw. There is Juventus versus Bologna. Juventus are on a resurgence. The last game I saw, serious press from Max Allegri's side. And I was actually shocked. I think it's Juventus home or draw at least. Napoli versus Sassuolo. I expect that it will go on with a win. I expect that the wins will keep on going on at Napoli, especially at the Maradona in their first game at home. It's a straight win for Napoli. Arsenal versus Fulham. This game is going to have a lot of attacking threat to it. I think this game at home at the Emirates, it's a little bit tricky. But given what Fulham have gone through, a lot of unstable sides, a couple of injuries. Now they've lost their striker to Saudi Arabia. Their coach was actually unsettled. I think Arsenal has what it takes to win this game at home. Red Bull versus Inter Miami, also in there. Leipzig versus Leeds. A lot of games in the English Premier League. So yeah, these are the games are for you here on the Counter Press. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.